Now that it's autumn, the days are getting shorter, it's getting darker quicker. Here in the UK, we're on Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. So I was wondering, what is your ideal weekend breakfast? Do you feel that breakfasts and things you eat in the morning change with the seasons?
I think they do. But before that, I would like to ask you...
Were you smiling?
If after 23 years of marriage, you're still wondering what my ideal weekend breakfast might be, then...
I thought maybe you're smiling because you thought, what is he rambling on about?
Exactly.
But the reason I was saying it is because today I didn't feel like having one of those full English breakfasts. With the full works, the trimmings.
Yeah.
I felt like having aloo ke parathe with makhan, thoda sa dahi. And of course, I would love to have piyaz, but you only cut piyaz if guests are coming.
That's true. Actually, I've never made parathas. Have you also noticed that is your mum's forte? I've never made parathas either, but I know where you're coming from. I think what we crave as the ultimate indulgent breakfast, especially on weekdays, has a lot to do with the weather.
Weekdays or weekends?
Weekends has a lot to do with the weather. Now that, as you say, it is autumn, autumnal treats, rich, hearty soups and parathe and the full whack when it comes to having an English breakfast, all of those things, porridge with a lot of stuff.
Weekdays is just get up and go.
But you know what? When it comes to weekdays, conventional wisdom says that you should have your breakfast like a king
Dalia khana chahiye.
and your dinner like a pauper, right? As in, eat lighter as the day goes on. But I'm into that.
I think we're the opposite.
We are the opposite, and I definitely, because I am into intermittent fasting, I am into that philosophy where I don't need to eat anything really solid. I do have a lot of herbal teas, I'll have a lot of coffee. But the first solid thing I put in my mouth is normally around 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon. And I think my body has adapted to that quite well.
ये भी पूरी कहानी बता दे. And what do you put in your mouth at 1 o'clock in the afternoon? Chocolates and popcorn?
No, वो तो ठीक है कभी-कभी. It depends on what it is. See, that's the thing about intermittent fasting. Obviously, it doesn't have very hard and fast rules on what you're eating, as long as you're eating within that specified window.
How come you didn't go the keto way?
Yeah, I tried to be. I didn't do keto. I haven't gone fully keto, but then I have cut out carbs a lot, and I'm reaping the riches. I'm reaping the benefits. 6 months it has taken me to really feel as though I have dropped maybe a few pounds here and there and dropped a few dress sizes, but I'm extremely proud of that. And I think the key is to not be obsessed with size, weight, shape, but to be obsessed with good health. I think when you eat well, when you sleep well, when you do a bit of a workout, when you have a good routine and a rhythm in your life, it just makes you spring out of bed and it just makes you feel alive. That is what good health is all about. To me, it has never been about the gym or about what size I am or how much I weigh.
Well, going back to the breakfast I was dreaming of.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that I need barik kata hua pyaz.
वो तो मिलने भी नहीं वाला मुझसे.
Just a quick slice. You just don't do that.
No, I don't.
You also, as you said, you don't need, what is the Hindi word? Gundo, anything.
Yeah.
I don't think you have a bailan, thank God.
No, I do. I do, which I keep well hidden.
Would you have lassi with it, or would you have a...
Lassi is a very summer thing. I'd say latte. No?
Sorry. What is the...
Masala tea?
No, the strong one which you can have. Which will...
Espresso.
नहीं भूल गया हिंदुस्तानी वाला ड्रिंक है not रूह अफ़ज़ा totally gone out of my mind but there's a strong drink you can have like ठंडाई.
Thandai जो है, the name suggests, is to keep you cool and ठंडा. That is for the summers. You're not going to have ठंडाई in winter. But पराठे के साथ वैसे चलता क्या है? गर्मा गर्म मसाला चाय. It has to be अदरक वाली चाय.
Then you'll say उसके साथ पकौड़े चाहिए.
नहीं, पराठे और पकौड़े is not a combination. पकौड़े and chai is a different thing. That is to do with barish. You are so confused. But essentially, you want something desi, something with butter or ghee or makhan. You want a hit of carbs, which is your paratha and your aloo and your gobi and all the rest of it.
Sorry, you don't eat carbs.
No, I eat selectively on days when I feel like. But to answer your question, my ideal breakfast, it completely differs from season to season. In the summer, when I do have breakfast, I think I would love to have a South Indian breakfast. Nothing like paper thin dosas or uthapams or idlis, freshly made. Coconut chutney, gunpowder, green chutney, tomato chutney, whatever. It's light, it's luscious.
Earlier this year, you were in Bangalore.
Yes.
So I hope you had your fill.
I did have my fill because not only in restaurants, my mother's cook makes very, very good South Indian food. So we were having all of this.
I haven't been for a couple of years, but do you still get that tiffin breakfast, which is like tiny dosa,
Yes.
tiny idli?
Yeah, absolutely.
2 idlis, 2 dosas.
Yeah, a scoop of this, a bit of that, a smidgen of that. You do.
It's like a South Indian thali.
Thali, yeah. You do get that. That would be my ideal summer breakfast, I think. If I had to choose a continental breakfast, then it would be, I love...
We're talking about summer, we're talking about winter breakfast.
Winter may, I suppose I love an omelette. I do love an omelette now, in my old age.
What has omelette got to do with summer and winter?
I don't know. In winter, it keeps me full for longer. I've never been a fan of the full English. The only things I really like there are the things that are not English, they're American hash browns.
Yeah, hash brown is totally American.
Yeah. But
haven't you sometimes seen you say, I'll have pancakes and hash brown?
yes,
There's nothing full or English about it.
yeah, that's true. I'm not. I'm not a breakfast person.
Do
To
you
answer your
remember
question,
I know, now I'm really rambling, but do you remember once years ago we used to go to Lula's in Delhi and have pancakes?
yeah, a stack of pancakes
Stack
with
of
maple
pancakes,
syrup.
yeah. Well, I read recently, about a month ago, Lula's finally closed down,
Oh dear, that's sad.
which is a proper institution.
Yeah, anyone who's ever been in Delhi would know that it is a place where you would go and order your favorites. You'd know them off by heart, and you know exactly what you get.
HCF became a
thing.
word, a byword.
A thing, yeah.
Hot chocolate fudge.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Sad to know that Nirula's doesn't exist anymore. Right.
Shall we talk about
Not food, but food for thought.
the hathi in the kamra?
I know, I wouldn't call you that. I know you put on a bit of weight. But
Well, let's talk about something that we decided we would not talk about, but we will talk about it.
Yes.
Because every year we go to these awards, and touch wood, lucky enough, you seem to get nominated more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a fantastic time. We went to Manchester for these awards, the Asian Media Awards, and yet again, you didn't win.
yes.
We went there last year on behalf of the podcast.
Yeah.
This year you went as Best Radio Show.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many times you've been there now as Best Radio Presenter, Best Radio Show, Best...
I've been nominated in 4 categories. Well, I've been nominated in 3 categories, and I've won in 1 as part of Sunrise Radio Best Station, Best Radio Presenter, Best Show, Best Podcast. I have a few other categories in mind, which I would like to take off. But yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is. I always say that when you go to an awards function, obviously for those 10 seconds when the nominations are read out in your category, your heart is in your mouth, everybody wants to emerge a winner, and when you don't, it is a horrible feeling, it's a sinking feeling, but it lasts only as long as you let it. Because
we were laughing and chatting. And
and next thing we knew, we were meeting friends from other radio stations who we normally don't get to meet. We were meeting friends, and ironically, most of them London friends, but we are all so busy in our own lives, on our own stations, that we don't get to see each other. But it's fantastic.
Even more ironically, you always seem to lose out to this rival BBC station.
That's right.
Where most of your friends are.
I think destiny is trying to tell me something, that I need to get a job in the BBC now. I wonder if they need any tea ladies. Anyway, once again, we were in Manchester. The awards happened. I didn't win, but it was a great night. And I definitely don't subscribe to the view where people, when they lose, they say, oh, it was fixed, it was rigged, someone paid for it, someone did this, that. And when you win, you come back smug saying, oh, look, I won it. It doesn't work like that. Either you have to say that even when I win, oh my God, something must be wrong, or you have to just be sporting about it and take it on the chin. If you don't have the courage to lose, then you have no business being there. That's what I feel. That's it. That's my loser's speech done. What else have we been up to besides the Asian Media Awards? We've been watching a few interesting things on Amazon Prime, and it looks to me like you want to still say something about something.
No. What did you watch on Amazon Prime?
Some of the big films that came out, which we never bothered to go and see in the cinema. I'm talking about Brahmastra. I'm talking about...
Is that on Amazon Prime?
No, it's on Disney Plus Hotstar. On OTT is what I meant. Kantara is another film that people are buzzing about. It's supposed to be the new Pushpa. And Ponniyin Selvan 1, PS1.
Well, that I watched with you.
Ash's big comeback.
Actually, let's be honest, you didn't really watch the whole thing, because when I turned around after about half an hour, karate ki aazain aa rahi thi.
I couldn't keep up with those names which were half a kilometer long. I have a serious bone to pick with those who wrote the subtitles for that film. when you are subtitling a film for people who do not speak the language or understand the language, you have to be very sensitive about the fact that your subtitles can't be longer than the scenes, right? So naturally, here, because most of the characters historically have very long names, South Indian names are very long, they should have done something about it. Either they should have shortened it, or the subtitles should have been far more crisp than they were. It was virtually impossible to read the subtitles and also watch what was happening on screen at the same time. You had to do one or the other. And mind you, we are not those people. There are some people who say, subtitles to hum dekh hi nahi sakte. My God, how can you enjoy something?
We enjoy stuff with subtitles.
We love watching stuff. We don't have a problem with that at all. No. This is the first time where I felt really let down, because it looked like a riveting film. It was well made. It was
the thing is that you studied the Chola dynasty. And,
Chola, Chera, Pandyas, Kakatiyas.
I haven't, so
vaguely,
I found it very confusing.
Yeah, I vaguely remember, because it is part of our syllabus, but it's not something you study in great detail. But of course, you do know all these names. From what I could gather, at the end of the day, it was pretty much the exact same story as you would find.
Did you tell people we're talking about Ponniyin Selvan?
Ponniyin Selvan Part 1, PS1. The story was pretty much the same as you would find in any story which is set in a kingdom that the king has, because his grandson, who is the rightful heir, is a young boy, until the crown prince comes of age, somebody else is given the responsibility to run the state. Excuse me. And
what?
It is a tussle for the crown. Essentially, that's what it is. That was my take. What did you make of the film?
It was okay, but it just ended abruptly. I mean, you have to watch part 2 to know what's going on.
Yeah, because that's...
And Ash is gorgeous in this.
Yeah, she is. She's not lost any of her beauty or her glamour.
Her allure.
Her allure. Even though she's the same age as I am. She celebrated her birthday in November as well. She looks absolutely stunning. But I found the story very hard to follow. Brahmastra, I'm not even very keen to watch it. I don't know why. It has done absolutely nothing to me at all.
Talking about Brahmastra, let's congratulate them. They had a baby girl.
Yeah, Alia and Ranbir had a baby girl, and obviously that is the talk of the town right now, and it's probably going to be one of the most photographed babies after Taimur and Jay. Kareena and Saif's sons.
Taimur turned up with his dad.
At a rock concert or something?
At a rock concert.
Yeah.
In the rock show thing in Mumbai.
Yeah, that's because Kareena is here with the young one shooting for something. So,
so he had a headband on, a bandana on.
So he's going the same way. I mean, he's turning out to be a bit of a rock star if his dad allows him to be.
I think his dad dressed him up as...
Yeah. So that's that. Kantara is a film that I do want to watch. Rishabh Shetty's Kantara, a Kannada film, is a talk of the town right now because people are calling it...
I don't know who Rishabh Shetty is.
Apparently, I don't either, but apparently he's a one-man industry. He's a Kannada actor. He's written the film, he's directed the film, he's acted in the film, he's produced the film, and he's done many other things.
It sounds a bit like Himesh Reshamia.
I don't know if he has sung the songs though. But they're saying that it's the new Pushpa in the way that it talks about a ritual that happens in coastal Karnataka, which even the rest of the state may not be aware of. And Rishabh Shetty said something fantastic in his interview. He said that keeping your content local is the way to go global in today's day and age. If you're talking about little rituals and things that the world doesn't know about, that's a brilliant way to attract a global audience.
Keeping your content local.
Yeah. Don't try and put something for everybody in your film. Oh, put a song, put a dance, put some fight, put some tragedy, put some comedy. No. If you're talking about an issue, a social issue, or whatever it may be, an entertaining thing, if you keep it very local and infuse it with local flavors and talk about a custom that no one may have heard of and give it its authentic flavors, it is more likely to find a global audience in this day and age. That's what he says. He says that a lot of people have accused it of pandering to these rituals where I think there's a person who's possessed or something or the other, and at the end of the day it is a story about nature, Mother Nature having the upper hand and everyone being equal in front of nature. It has a beautiful social message. But he says that it is so specific to coastal Karnataka that even those who live in the big cities don't know about these things. And it is...
So it might alienate them then?
Actually not. He says that, at the end of the day, filmmaking is storytelling. If your story is good, if your characters are believable, if you've set it out in a way that it's gripping and people want to find out what happens next, then, chances are, wouldn't you much rather watch a film on something that you don't know much about rather than go and watch the same 2 songs, 5 fight sequences, 6 songs in Europe and, 3 Rona Dhona? Would you not? I think
that's true. Now, this whole week I've hardly seen you because you've been very busy.
Yeah.
Meeting up with friends, going to an Indian musical concert.
Yes, Zakir Hussain.
And you went to the National Theatre as well.
I did. Oh my God, so much to talk about. I went to see this brilliant play called The Boy with Two Hearts, directed by Amit Sharma. It is the story of an Afghan family that left Afghanistan 20 years ago, a real life story, inspired by a real life story, father, mother, 3 sons. And it was, the mother tried to speak out against the Taliban and speak for the rights of Afghani women. And she suddenly she got blacklisted and they wanted to, generally kill her. So they had to flee. And the eldest son had a heart condition. So one of the reasons they came to the UK was because they wanted medical care. So it really humanizes the statistic. Every single day in the UK, we hear about people who've left their countries and made very dangerous, perilous journeys just to be able to find a new life.
I don't know where in the world you're listening to this, but at the moment, illegal immigrants is a very
crossing over from
contentious
Europe
issue in Great Britain.
Absolutely. It is something that everybody has an opinion on. The government is saying one thing, people are saying another thing. So it is something which is really being talked about. So it is about that. At the end of the day, he tries to show that these people who are fleeing their homeland, not all of them, in fact, most of them are doing it against their will. They've been forced into this situation. And so many of them are actually taking their lives into their own hands, are putting their own families in the path of danger when they're making this perilous journey. But at the end of the day, it had a beautiful message as well. It is about giving back. It is about how much this country, it is about, well, in simple words, the NHS, how brilliant the NHS is, and how this boy gets a lot of medical care. There's the kind of medical care and attention that he could never have had.
What I'm really impressed with, I haven't seen it, I didn't go with you.
It's a bittersweet story.
Is the fact that it was at the National Theatre, which is like the top notch.
Absolutely. And anything that makes it to the London stage, it is a given that production values are going to be very high. From stagecraft to the way the lighting is done to the way the scenes change. And there's this brilliant singer called Ilaha Surur, who I've heard many times before. She sings with a band called Kafaya. She sings on her own as well. And she did the live singing on stage. Beautifully done. It really touched me. It was a beautiful play. I thought you were scribbling something there, and I think it said celebration because you wanted to talk about the fact that bounty is going to be left out.
No, I was going to say that in this country,
yes,
one of the big stories, it's so strange that there's illegal immigration, there's migration,
and on the other hand there's a bounty.
There's Rishi Sunak, there's COP23, is it now called? COP27, I think. Yeah. All this is going on. But the big story in the papers was Elon Musk and Twitter.
Yes.
And the fact that for Christmas, the Tubs of Celebration, which is a chocolate box, which has got all the Mars, Snickers kind of stuff, is not going to have bounties because most people don't like their coconut chocolate, which I find...
On what did they base this? Did they do a little survey?
Yeah, people have always said that that's the one we leave in the tin. And I find that strange because I love bounties.
Either you're a bounty person or you're not.
Now with Quality Street, now that I'm old, my teeth are going, I can't eat all these toffee kind of sweets.
Yeah.
You know the chewy toffee one, which as a kid used to love? Now I think, no, forget it. I don't want to go to the dentist yet again.
Yeah, so that's
So the moral of the story is, guys, it's only a chocolate. Don't get your Snickers in a Twix.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say don't be a bounty hunter. Because you won't find it in a box of celebrations this year in the UK. Well, that's it. You also...
I once went to a movie premiere of a movie called Bounty Hunter. And that's the first time I saw Gerald Butler. Gerald Butler, and I saw Jennifer Aniston. So I remember that. The movie was called Bounty Hunter.
The first time you saw them in real life?
In real life, when I was at the premiere.
Thank you very much. You didn't say premiere. So the first time I saw Jennifer Aniston and James Butler.
I went to the premiere many, many years ago. Anyway, that's by the by.
By the by. And we also realized while doing this podcast that because the last one we did was 2 weeks ago, it was on the eve of Rishi Sunak being declared Prime Minister on the auspicious day of Diwali. So when we recorded the last one, we weren't quite sure whether he'd made it or not.
We did a little piece to camera, as you TV people like to say.
Yes.
Saying Happy Diwali.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe the response we got for that. So thank you very much to all those who wished us Happy Diwali back.
Thank you so much. Please don't forget to recommend, review. I wouldn't say subscribe because you're already subscribed. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this. Recommend, review, and do all the other things that podcasters urge you to do.
Go to us. I've learned a new word, socials.
Yes.
You know why I've learned this new word?
Yeah.
Because at your radio station the other day, this young girl came in who's got a new movie out.
Yeah.
And I was stunned to see that she has 45 million followers on Instagram.
Oh my, that's a serious number.
That is a serious...
And yet we hadn't even heard of her until she came.
Yeah, but I think she's a TV star.
She was a massive star, clearly.
What's her name? Do you know?
No, you put me in. Jannat Zubair?
Jannat
Zubair, yes.
But she's got another name. She's got 3.
Yeah. Anyway, to cut a long story short, we may not have 45 million followers, but even 45 or 450 or 4,500 or 50,000 maybe, whatever it is, we are so grateful to you. You are the reason we keep looking at the analytics, and you are the reason we come back every 2 weeks to record another edition.
That is big Jude, because she's never looked at the analytics.
Well, when I say we look at it, you look at it, okay? We're a team, at least on the podcast we are.
You've never looked at them? You've never heard the podcast back?
No.
You as soon as it's done,
have you not?
And we're not allowed to do. It's all done in one take, by the way. So that if we make a mistake, like you heard her coughing, it's there.
Listen, clearly you have never followed the greats in the media. An actor will always tell you that I cringe when I see myself on the big screen. A broadcaster would say that if ever I have to hear myself back, OMG, that is my nightmare. That's why I don't like to hear it back.
I know we don't hear radio shows back.
Yes,
but you don't even hear.
No,
at least you should hear it one time while we're recording it.
How sad will it be if I have to sit and hear my own voice? I'd much rather hear somebody else's. On that note,
have you never tuned into your radio station? All you can hear is your adverts.
No, that's true. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you in 2 weeks' time again. Until then, look after yourself.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.